Since the opening volleys of the Revolution, citizen soldiers have been at the heart of American liberty. The same principles that inspired Minutemen to leave their families at a moment's notice. That same spirit of independence resounds in the ranks of today's Reserve and National Guard. For more than 90 years, the Reserve Officers Association of the United States has championed the cause of our nation's reservists, ensuring that they are always ready, resilient, and reliable. Established in 1922 by veterans of the First World War, ROA is an organization founded on unwavering principles of American patriotism, principles that extend beyond history.
General Pershing, who I think of as being a great man and a great general, made a brilliant decision when he decided to start the ROA. He wanted to make sure that we were not caught unprepared in some kind of future conflict. So he started this to use the expertise of our officers that had just come out of World War I to be able to pass their expertise and training to junior officers.
Historically, the role of our citizen soldiers, airmen, and sailors has been to protect those freedoms that all of us value in the United States. ROA has definitely been a significant part of that rich heritage.
The Reserve Officers Association of the United States has been this nation's only organization dedicated to supporting reservists and their critical role in national defense.
ROA has been the constant voice on Capitol Hill and in the Pentagon on behalf of reservists. No other organization over that span of history has provided the broad influence, the resources, and the advocacy for the citizen warrior and his or her family.
Through evolving roles and missions, from the fields of Europe to the jungles of Vietnam, the tides of the Pacific to the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan. The face of reserve service may have changed, but the call to duty has remained the same. Reservists of every background and branch have shared the sacrifice of service to their country.
Reserve officers have served in every war this century. Since 9/11, more than 864,000 reservists and guardsmen have been activated. Today, 55,000 reservists are still on active duty.
We simply could not have carried out our missions in Iraq and Afghanistan over the last decade without the total force and the vital role played by the Guard and Reserve.
Through vigorous advocacy of a strong national defense and a strong reserve force as a piece of that defense, plus individual programs for reservists, ROA has been very successful in both the passage of legislation on Capitol Hill and in policy changes in the Pentagon that ultimately benefit reservists and their families, in training, on the battlefield, in the workplace, and at home.
Bravery in the face of burden, honor despite hardship. These are the principles that have defined reserve service for nearly a century.
In 1950, just 5 days after the outbreak of the Korean conflict, President Truman further formalized the Reserve Officers Association by signing a congressional charter which provided for a strong national security and a viable reserve component.
Like the men and women we represent, our mission has evolved. We may stand on more than 90 years of history, but today, ROA is defined by tireless efforts on behalf of the modern force.
We're never going to try and build a force that's only capable of doing one thing at a time. Our reserve forces have grown into one of the most unique, adaptable, and operational forces in the world. They are a proven asset in America's defense arsenal.
ROA's support to service members and their families is an unending commitment at home and on the battlefield.
ROA is an incredible organization that's fighting for our rights and benefits, something that we can't do while we're in uniform. ROA is more than an association. It's a brotherhood.
Members of ROA know what it means to serve. That reserve duty represents a unique and often silent sacrifice. But that together, we create one voice. Our mission will never be glamorous, but like the warriors we support, we know where the front line is. And that's where you'll find us. Ready, resilient, reliable. The Reserve Officers Association of the United States.